Hello. Welcome to my channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. So happy you're back here again. And if you're new here, I like to make philosophical videos just like this one. I also make beauty videos and fashion videos. And today we're going to talk about what science says about free will and 10 reasons we might not have it while I do my makeup. If you want to know more details about this makeup routine, I already made a video about it. You can check it out. If you're not into makeup, just relax and listen to the message and enjoy the visuals. So, do you ever think about if you have free will? Like, what motivates your behavior? Is it you, or is it where you maybe grew up, or what you watch every day maybe, or maybe your religion, or even maybe your genes? I think it's a pretty interesting topic, which is why I chose to make a video about it. And it's gonna be a pretty long one, so I created timestamps as usual. And yeah, grab your teacup, wine, coffee, whatever, and let's get into it. So, the topic of free will is a complex and debated subject within the realm of science and philosophy. The scientific understanding of free will has evolved over time, and different perspectives exist amongst researchers. It's important to note that these reasons do not definitely prove or disapprove the existence of free will. They reflect some scientific arguments that suggest our choices may be influenced or constrained by various factors. The nature of free will remains a complex and multifaceted topic that encompasses philosophical, scientific, and ethical dimensions. So I wanted to begin by looking into how class or your social status may affect. So, number one, constructural constraints. Class-related factors such as socioeconomic background can impose structural constraints on individuals' choices and opportunities. Limited access to resources, education, and job prospects can restrict the range of options available to individuals from lower socioeconomic classes, potentially undermining their ability to exercise free will effectively. Socialization and conditioning. Socialization processing within different classes can shape individuals' beliefs, values, and aspirations. Cultural norms and expectations associated with particular class can influence how individuals perceive their choices and limit their imagination regarding alternative possibilities. This may impact the exercise of free will by influencing the options individuals consider or goals they pursue. So, since most of us spend a lot of time on social media, I wanted to tap into how social media affects our free will. Social media has a significant impact on our free will due to its pervasive presence in modern society. So here are several ways which social media can influence or exercises our free will. So let's begin to talk about filtered information. Social media platforms uses algorithms to curate and personalize the content users see based on their preferences and behaviors. This filtering can create an echo chamber effect where individuals are exposed primarily to information and viewpoints that aligns with their existing beliefs. This selective exposure can limit the diversity of perspectives we encounter, potentially influencing our decision-making processes and narrowing our understanding of complex issues. Another thing is manipulative design. Social media platforms are designed to capture and hold users' attention, often utilizing persuasive techniques to keep them engaged. Features like notification, infinite scrolling, and personalized content recommendation are designed to maximize user interaction. These design elements can potentially manipulate user choices, leading to addictive behaviors and reducing their ability to exercise conscious control over their social media usage. Social comparison and self-esteem. Social media platforms often encourages users to compare themselves with others, showcasing carefully curated images of others' lives and accomplishments. This constant exposure to idealized representations of others lives can lead to negative self-comparisons and lower self-esteem. This may impact our free will by influencing our choices, behaviors, and self-perception, as we may feel pressured to conform to societal standards and expectations. We need to remember that a person's social media, for example, Instagram, is a highlight of someone's life. People usually display the best times of their lives or when they feel the best or look the best. Usually people don't highlight or showcase their negative times of their lives. Influence of online communities. Social media enables the formation of online communities based on shared interests, beliefs, or identities. While these communities can provide support and connection, they can also foster echo chambers and groupthink. The influence of these communities can shape individuals' opinions and decision-making processes, potentially constraining the exercise of free will by reinforcing specific ideologies or viewpoints. Targeted advertising and manipulation. Social media platforms collect vast amounts of user data, enabling targeted advertising and personalized marketing. Advertisers can use this data to tailor content and messages that are specifically designed to influence users' choice and behaviors. This targeted manipulation can undermine free will by exploiting psychological vulnerabilities and nudging individuals towards certain actions or purchases. Privacy and data concerns. The collection and analysis of personal data on social media raises concerns about privacy and autonomy. The knowledge that our online activities are being monitored and analyzed can create a sense of surveillance, potentially influencing our behavior and self-censorship. This awareness of being watched by impact the exercise of free will, as individuals may alter their choices and self-expression to conform or avoid scrutiny. It's important to note that while social media can have a significant influence on our free will, individuals still possesses agency and the ability to make conscious choices. Developing critical thinking skills, media literacy, and being mindful of our online behaviors can help mitigate some of the potential negative effects of social media on our free will. So I really love when people use analogies to explain things. So I wanted to use the Truman Show to explain free will. I'm not sure if you are familiar with this movie, but it's a movie that Jim Carrey participated in. So The Truman Show is a thought-provoking film that raises questions about free will and individual autonomy. In the movie, the main character, Truman Burbank, played by Jim Carrey, unknowingly lives his entire life inside a massive, elaborately constructed reality TV show. Every aspect of his life is manipulated and controlled by the show's producers, creating a meticulously crafted world which Truman is the unwitting star. The Truman Show explores the theme of free will, presenting Truman as a character who gradually becomes aware of his limitation imposed upon him and his lack of genuine freedom. As Truman starts to question the reality around him, he notices inconsistencies. He becomes increasingly determined to escape the artificial world in which he has been trapped in. So I wanted to use The Truman Show by explaining the 9 reasons. It's obviously multiple reasons why we might not have free will. So, the illusion of choice. Throughout his life, Truman is led to believe that he is making his own choices, but in reality, his decisions are heavily manipulated by the show's creators. The film highlights how the illusion of choice can mask the absence of genuine autonomy, leaving Truman to grapple with the realization that his life has been orchestrated for the entertainment of others. Conformity and social pressure. Truman's environment is designed to discourage him from deviating the sociality norms and expectations. The people around him, including his friends and family, are actors who play their roles to ensure Truman remains unaware of his true circumstances. This emphasis on conformity and social pressure to fit within prescribed boundaries reflect how external influence can limit an individual's free will. quest for freedom. As Truman gradually uncovers the truth about his situation, he demonstrates a strong desire to break free from the confines of artificial world and regain control over his own life. His pursuit of freedom represents the inherent human yearning to exercise free will and make choices that aligns with one's own desires and values. Symbolism of the director. The character of Christoph, the director of The Truman Show, symbolizes the forces that attempt to control and manipulate Truman's life. Christoph represents a good, godlike figure who believes he knows what is best for Truman and seeks to maintain control over his every move. This portrayal raises question about the limit of external authority and the individual's right of self-determination. So as you can see, The Truman Show challenges the notion of free will by presenting a scenario where individual's life is entirely constructed and manipulated by external forces. Through Truman's journey, the film invites viewers to contemplate the extent to which our choices and actions are influenced by external factors and the consequences of discovering and asserting our own autonomy. Ultimately, The Truman Show serves as a critique of the artificial of constructed realities and raises profound philosophical questions about the nature of free will, personal agency, and the pursuit of authenticity in the world filled with influences and constraints. So I wanted to use the 10th reason using Max Weber's theory, the iron cage, to explain why our free will might be restricted. So who is Max Weber? He was born 1864, lived to 1920, and he was a German sociologist, philosopher, and political economist who is considered one of the founding figures of modern sociology. Weber's work has had a profound influence on social theory, and his ideas continues to be widely studied and discussed. So, in Weber's theory, the iron cage emerges from the rationalization of bureaucratization of society, where instrumental rationality becomes the dominant mode of thinking and decision-making. Instrumental rationality refers to the use of efficient means to achieve specific ends, often prioritizing calculability, predictability, and control. Dehumanization and alienation. Weber argues that the iron cage leads to the dehumanization and alienation of individuals. As people are treated as mere cogs in the bureaucratic machine, their individuality, creativity, and subjective experiences are often suppressed or ignored. This alienation can limit individuals' sense of agency and their ability to exercise free will. Dominance of rational calculation. Within the iron cage, decision-making becomes predominantly guided by rational calculation and efficiency. The pursuit of instrumental rationality can overshadow other considerations such as moral values, personal relationships, and subjective meanings. This dominance of rational calculation can curtail individuals' ability to make choices based on their personal values and desires, limiting their exercise of free will. Dependency on systems. The iron cage creates a dependency on complex systems and institutions that individuals rely on for their basic needs and societal participation. This dependency can further restrict free will, as individuals may feel compelled to conform and adapt to the system, even if they clash with their own aspirations or values. Weber's theory of the iron cage highlights the tension between the rationalized structures of modern society and the exercise of free will. While individuals may have some agency and room for maneuver within these systems, the pervasive influence of bureaucracy and instrumental rationality can limit their freedom to act autonomously and shape their own lives. The iron cage represents the metaphorical barrier that inhibits the full realization of individuals' free will in a modern rationalized society. This is why I felt like Max Weber's theory actually relates to The Truman Show, the movie, which is why I thought I should bring this up as well. So before I leave you guys, I wanted to talk about evolutionary psychology on free will. This is why I feel like it's like the most rational explanation and is more scientifically proven. Evolutionary psychology, a field that seeks to understand human behavior and cognition in terms of evolutionary processes, offers some insight into the concept of free will. However, it's worth knowing that evolutionary psychology primarily focuses on explaining the origins and adaptive function of our behaviors rather than directly addressing the philosophical aspects of free will. That being said, here are some few key points from evolutionary psychology perspective. So the first theory would be adaptive decision making. Evolutionary psychologists propose that our decision-making abilities have evolved as adaptive responses to our environment. Over time, humans develop cognitive mechanisms to evaluate options, assess risks and benefits, and make choices that increases their chances of survival and reproductive successes. These decision-making processes are believed to be shaped by natural selection. Constraints and biases. While humans have the capacity to make choices, evolutionary psychologists suggest that our decision-making is influenced by various constraints and biases. These include cognitive biases, social influences, emotional responses, and subconscious factors that may limit the extent of our free will. These constraints and biases have evolved due to their usefulness in specific contexts, but may not always align with rational or deliberate decision-making. It's important to remember that the field of evolutionary psychology offers framework for understanding human behavior, but does not provide a definite answer to a question of free will. The philosophical and ethical implications of free will are more complex and may require consideration beyond evolutionary perspective. After studying evolutionary psychology more and more with women, because it's a bigger chance for them to be able to pass on their genes with a 20-year-old fertile woman instead of an 80-year-old woman who has or don't even have any fertile eggs anymore. All of these behaviors are obviously not a coincidence. Another example I would say is, for example, if we have been wronged several times by our siblings, we are far more likely to be forgiving than if we were wronged by non-relatives. For example, we may be wronged by our sibling over and over again, but we tend to forgive our sibling because we share similar genes to them. We may have been same wronged by a non-relative person, but we tend to not want to forgive that person. We may feel like we have the illusion of option to not forgive our brother, but this is all an illusion. This illusion of free will prevents us from realizing the truth, and so we act more effectively in the service of our genes. Anyways, I can ramble about this all day. It's so interesting to me. I didn't want to make this video too long, so I feel like I should stop here. But thank you so much for watching, and if you got this far, I appreciate you a lot. I hope you enjoyed this video. But I have a question for you guys. Do you guys agree with me and feel like evolutionary psychology is the most rational explanation when it comes to our free will? Or do you agree with any other theories such as Max Weber's theory or the Truman Show, the movie? Or, I mean, some are pretty logic. For example, I feel like social media obviously shapes our free will in a sense, but some of us still have critical thinking, obviously, and we also have media literacy. But socioeconomics and social conditioning and socialization may also shape our free will. Anyways, let me know in the comments, and once again, thank you so much for watching, and please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to reach 1,000 subscribers, so please this year, so please I'll be so happy. And if you like this video, you'll probably like this video as well. And thank you so much for watching. Bye.